What would you say is the biggest reason you now can find happiness within yourself and you know you don't need it from someone else? Was there a teacher? Was there a book you read? What made you go, you know what, I need to find it here. I can't find it out there.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think the honest answer is forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you why. So for a long, long period, I thought these people that were the root cause of my adversity, say the brain injury attack, my ex-partner for leaving me and going off with somebody else when she said she wanted to be single. That at some point I was angry, and I was so angry about those people. But as soon as I forgive those people, it changed my life around, because holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah.
But forgiveness is the antidote. And once you can learn to forgive, you can then move on with your life and become the very best version of yourself. And yeah, I'd almost, well, I do now. Like, I thank those people, say my ex partner, the person that attacked me. I thank them people, because if that wouldn't have happened in my life, I probably wouldn't be here today to share the journey that I'm sharing to help other people. And yeah, the reason why I started sharing my journey is because I would feel very selfish in not sharing the knowledge, like I say, from the adversities I've faced and overcome with people that are struggling themselves. And yeah, just becoming vulnerable, like you say, vulnerable. And I believe vulnerability is just being our true, authentic self, and just being honest with ourselves, but to other people, like being honest out loud to others.
Yeah.
Because I've found there's so much strength within vulnerability. And when we can actually become vulnerable is when the true healing starts to happen, because not only do we heal ourselves, we also heal each other's around us. So
Yeah.
yeah, I absolutely love to become vulnerable, because it allows me to say, be that beacon of light to allow other people to not only become attracted to, but to open up themselves, you know.
Yeah, 100, I think that's the number one thing that helps people open up or even share something deep and personal with them. Even with people I train or I coach, if I'm able to share a deep, dark past moment on myself that is somehow related to the challenge they're talking about, that's when the communication gets to the next level, the learning gets to the next level. I truly feel that by our individual stories is how we help others in the planet. And the reason for that is because my past is not going to be your past, and your past isn't going to be my past, but we're two people that have gone on two separate journeys. And with all the experiences we've had, those experiences are lessons we can share with others. But the other person isn't going to get the lesson unless we are vulnerable enough to share. And we can't just share the good stuff, like you said. If you share the good stuff, I mean, there's some wins there, but people want to really know about what was that dark moment like? What was it like to be in the shower alone crying? What was it like to see your ex partner with someone else? And there was a bit of a, it's like I had a white lie. She didn't. She said she wanted to be single, but maybe it wasn't that. And then you start judging yourself. What was I good enough? Not good enough, etc., etc. And I think even your honest answer about it's the forgiveness side that made you understand you can go inside versus outside. I learned this from another mentor, and they were talking about forgiveness is obviously, I believe exactly what you said. If you hold the anger or any of those negative emotions on an experience with someone else and you blame them, obviously your life's never going to change because you're basing it on something else. You're not taking control, right? But
Yeah.
forgive, the word forgive is, a lot of people view that, might say, Ryan, how can you forgive the person that knocked you into the brain injury, or to your ex-partner that sort of told you half a lie and wanted space but then moves on within a few months? How do
Yeah,
you?
so I can answer that if you want.
Yeah.
So I say forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace.
Yeah.
Because you'll never be peaceful, and you'll never be able to progress in your life if you're holding on to that. So you don't have to accept, or you don't have to, yeah, what they've done to you. You don't have to forgive them to say, yeah, it was right for them to do it. You just have to accept that it wasn't okay for them to do what they done, but then you can just accept it for what it is and just move on with your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying by that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I wanted to bring it to, because the mentor that I've worked with, he told me that when you forgive someone, the word forgive, you break it down, it's forgive. And it's, so for example, let's say you were speaking to the guys that gave you the brain injury, it's like, thank you for giving me that experience, right?
Yeah.
So when you forgive them, you're actually saying thanks, like you said, the gratitude side. So they come hand in hand because they gave you an experience where you've gone through the hospital situation with that injury, but it's only because of what they did. Whether someone views that as positive or negative is irrelevant when you get to this point, because through that experience, you're now using it to then inspire, change, and help others. So now that is, like you said, you find the positive out of that experience. Whereas if anyone else looks at it from a snapshot or an overview, most people, 99 out of 100, would say that's a bad thing. I can't see what's good about that. But the thing is, you manage to find it, and then you are able to also forgive and move on. So you have peace, but they give you that experience. That's why I feel your ex gave you an experience. You had it for 6.5 years. But from that experience with her, it's like, what are all the gifts and the blessings? And I think you said it as well. When you lock the door, you put the key into the letterbox, you thanked the house because there was both good and bad. But good and bad is still an experience either way. And those experiences are what we take on in life to help others. Do you know what I mean? If that didn't happen, I mean, you couldn't even share with me that story. And I know that a lot of people listening would have got a lot of learnings out of that because everyone relates to this stuff. Everyone thinks everyone's Superman or Superwoman, or everyone's got this life that's really happy. But we all have our inner demons, our inner pains, our inner challenges. And only when we're actually all alike. That's how I look at it. There's no hierarchy here. Do you know what I mean? We're all on earth. We're all human. We have a human experience. We have a spiritual side, and like you talked about with your out of body experience, there's certain things that we just know inside. We might not be able to explain it, like you said. I can't say whether it's a god or a force or a whatever it is, but we kind of know there's something greater than us, a greater force than us. And like I think for those listening, when you forgive something as severe as a brain injury, which, like you said, even now you might have a memory block, or it affects you till this day, but you don't use it to live a disempowered life. You use it to live an empowered life. And that's probably the biggest learning out of this whole conversation.